This is an emergency episode. We are talking about rysa, Tissa, and pathological liars. Welcome to the Ask a Matchmaker podcast. I'm your host, Matchmaker Maria, and this is kind of like an emergency episode. So, of course, I called stand-up comedian Joyelle Nicole Johnson to join me on the podcast so we can talk about rysa, Tissa. But before we start doing that, Joyelle, welcome to the podcast.
Ooh, thank you for having me, boo. I appreciate it. What up, Jersey?
Last time it was over Zoom. Now it's in studio.
I can't believe we're doing this in person again. You're one of the few people I would do this for.
I know. I had to have a Jersey girl going through a crisis in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
To bring you into the studio. Otherwise, it was like, nope. She would just ignore my texts.
Yeah, I've been a Jersey girl in a crisis in Atlanta. And now I'm a Jersey girl in a velour suit on a velour couch. And I'm very happy about that.
And you have other things in common with our protagonist of today's story.
Oh, I do. What else do I have in common with her? I'm not sure.
Let's talk about it.
Oh, my goodness.
So before we do that, for those who have been living under a TikTok rock this past week, we are talking about rysa Tissa. That is her username. She is a Jersey woman living in Atlanta who started telling her story on TikTok. She would do 10-minute videos. It was 53 parts. And she recounts the story of meeting someone right at the beginning of the pandemic who we would come to find out through her storytelling that he's a pathological liar.
Yes.
I also just want to say that because of how she set up this storytelling, she kind of broke TikTok. And by the way, I think it's really interesting that it happened to be in the same period as Universal Music Group takes their music away. And also this woman, she's not putting on makeup. She's not slicing sand.
No.
She's not doing the distracting things that we have needed to watch people speak.
No, she's just giving it direct to camera.
Direct to camera?
And all types of do-rags and lace fronts. And I appreciated the journey. The hair journey was fantastic.
The hair journey was amazing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like not only did she break TikTok, I feel like she gave us back our distraction. Like, we've been so distracted. And I feel like I have it back. I have power now after spending like 6 hours. Because I didn't even know you could do a double, what is it called? Speed it up. Until the last 10 parts, I was like, I was listening to her do it in like her full.
Oh, no, I did the 1.5 speed because 2 was a little bit crazy for me. I'm a weed smoker. That was very speed, that was very cocaine-y. I was like 1.5 was my capacity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that was her. The name of the playlist, should you want to go check it out, is called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Who TF Did I Marry?
Yes.
It's been trending. We'll talk about, her future, but, I wanted to bring you in and talk about it.
Yeah, man, it was a journey. I can't believe I watched all of it. I did. I watched I don't have a job, so I had time. And sometimes I'll be having time, and it was a good thing to have time for. And speaking of distractions, it was a good distraction from all the sadness of the world to watch somebody confess their sadness to people. Because everybody tries to pretend that we live perfect lives. We on Instagram. We doing it for the gram.
Right.
We on a miserable vacation, but let's get this shot. and don't nobody know.
She even did.
She was like, I'm
angles.
vulnerable.
She did bad angles. She had her camera like right here.
She was
here,
giving it.
Like you said, the hair, all of it.
Yes.
There are a lot of layers to this story.
There's so many layers. Oh my God.
He lied a lot to her.
He did.
He got away with a lot in the beginning.
He got away with a lot the whole time, it seemed like.
I feel like there were signs.
Oh, there was a sign. Listen, I took notes. The first sign was that she met him on 2 different apps with 2 different names. Ladies, if you come across somebody who's using 2 different names on 2 different apps, don't swipe right. That's the number 1 red flag for me.
Right there.
Do not swipe right.
For me, the number 1 flag was that he was 6'4".
Ooh, you don't trust him?
No, I've never trusted a man who's 6'4". I've been hurt too much.
Oh, by the tall man.
By the 6'4" specifically.
That's so interesting. I don't date tall men. Tall men don't date me, rather. And we are a fellow Amazonian queen. I usually am hovering my height 5'10.5" or lower. My boyfriend happens to be 6'1". He's the tallest man I've ever dated.
Yeah, and I mean, with your hair, you still look taller than him.
The 5'8", the 5'9", love your girl.
And she's wearing 4-inch heels.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
I'm dunking on people.
I know I can't. I mean, last year my sister sent me some episode about some narcissist on another podcast.
He was 6'4".
And I was just like literally waiting until I hear the drop, and it was like 3 episodes in. Well, he was really big and like 6'4", and I was like, oh, there it is. And then 2 years ago, fellow comedian Jared Fried and I were talking about Caleb. Do you remember West Elm Caleb?
Where he dated everyone. That. I couldn't go into that hole. You got to pick your holes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the dating world.
LGBTQs know. You got to pick your holes. And I couldn't go through that hole. Like some holes, I just be like, you know what? I'm gonna leave that over there.
It hit my feed, Joyelle. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I remember someone asking me, I don't know if it was Jared or someone else, but I remember someone asking me like, why do you think he got away with it? And I was like, because he's 6'4".
Ooh, he's dating a bunch of bitches.
Yeah. And also, so what I'm listening to the Rysa Tissa, and in my mind, 6'4". So I'm just waiting. I'm like, when is she gonna tell us his height? And like at the end, I think of episode 2 or the beginning of episode 3, like part 2 or part 3, she's like, well, he's a big guy, 6'4". And I'm like,
ding.
Called it.
Wow. Yeah. And the first episode was she said God tried to stop her from going on the date because she blew out a tire. And that was God.
Do you believe that?
Like God is trying to tell you something. Color Purple.
Have you ever been catfished?
I haven't, but I'm a freelance comedian, so
you're the catfish,
right? Like people think I am not a human, so I've never done that much.
Have you ever encountered pathological or compulsive liars?
My father, I was born of one, so
okay.
So that's why you can't lie to me. You can't lie to me. You could try, but there's gonna be red flags, and that's why I want people. Not just women, people. Look at the red flags. They're going to be there from the moment. Just don't trust your instincts. Because what I love about her is that she was very self-aware post everything, saying, if this makes me look ugly, I'm going to still say it. And I love that for her, for telling people, don't ignore your instincts. If your instincts are telling you something, trust yourself.
So one of the things that you have in common is that you both met your partners the first week of March of 2020.
Okay, in my defense. I didn't
so let's talk about your
then.
partner now. What does he do for a living?
Listen, that's a very valid question because I am not sure to this day. We're about to be 4 years into this relationship.
He's told me a few times what he does, and I'm like, you sound like Chandler from Friends.
Or black people would say Tommy from Martin. He ain't got no job. He ain't got no job. He is a product manager.
You lost me right there. Okay.
He's a product manager. And what my brain
of technology
has
no
corralled
product.
Technology. My brain has corralled that he wrangles software developers like cats and tells them what to do for a business. And he wakes up, he gets out of the bed every day at 7:30 a.m.
Does he have good health care?
He has great health care. I got a hysterectomy through that health care.
That's all that matters, I guess, in this scenario.
Absolutely. There's actual evidence.
I'll tell you another difference that you both have. You met through a mutual friend.
We met and we had known each other for a year before we started dating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So it wasn't app-based. I mean, no shade on app-based. Queens, get your app out. But we met in the wild, as I would say, which is rare these days. And I know a lot of people want that for themselves. You want to meet organically. Yeah. And so I'm very lucky to have met my partner organically. Granted, one of our friends did die, so I earned it.
Can you finish that story? Because you can't just say that.
I'm sorry. Y'all don't know me. Our mutual friend died. So he was a stand-up comedian. And then my boyfriend went to college with him. And then one of our friends was like, I think y'all should be together.
I want to be a matchmaker.
And she was a matchmaker.
She did a great job.
Yes, she did a great job.
You guys were fun
together. We still together 4 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't meet him nakedly in March of 2020.
On Facebook dating?
Yeah, no.
And also, the first 2 weeks of March were intense.
To say the least.
Understatement
of the year.
What I'm trying to say is that, while she's saying the story, I'm kind of like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me. I think nobody wants to be... I mean, I remember when Hurricane Sandy came in, and I called my friends with benefits and was like, Do you want to go through this with me?
Hug me. Please hug me.
I didn't know that we were going to lose
hugs.
power. I didn't know I was going to be stuck with him on a fifth floor walk. Like, you know,
Neither
I was like,
did I.
here we are. Okay.
Once again, lucky that I happen to like my boyfriend. I like him. I don't like a lot of people. I hate most people, as we talked about on off camera before this started. But yeah, man. So I understand that need to want to be with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, that's hard.
Have you ever been, so wait, before I keep going, we have to talk about the differences between a pathological liar and a compulsive liar, because I didn't know this. I thought they were the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But they're two different things.
I have OCD, so I'm very interested in this.
Okay, so a compulsive liar is lies out of habit. Compulsive or habitual lying is when someone tells lies, big or small, often for no apparent reason. Compulsive lying doesn't always mean that they are trying to cover something up or be dishonest. It's often an urge that does not have a traceable motivation.
That makes sense. Okay, so I am a hair puller and a skin picker. It's not intentional. So that makes sense. You're kind of just doing it.
Compulsive.
Like it's just coming out your mouth. That makes sense.
And then a pathological liar is someone who excessively lies. They exhibit a pattern of consistent dishonesty that feels impossible to stop. Pathological lying involves an irrational need to fabricate stories, events, or facts. So one of the things that I can see, I feel like from my own experience of having dated the latter, I'll tell you about that in a second, was like, I think a compulsive liar is, like it says, lies out of habit, but they can tell you that they're lying. A pathological liar
can't help themselves.
They're just, it's psychosis.
Right. But here's the thing. How can you tell a difference unless a professional sits down with that person and figures it out?
Did you know that there is no cure for pathological lying? Like it's under psychiatry. You would have to, speak to a psychiatrist, whatever, but there's no medication. It stems, from what I gathered off of Googling, it stems from anxiety or some sort of trigger. It could be both.
Okay.
But there's no pill that's like, stop lying.
There's no pill that says stop picking as well. So that makes sense. That's crazy.
Yeah. So have you ever dated a compulsive or pathological liar?
No. Once again, you can't lie to me. So on the first date.
Tell us the tips. How do you sniff it out?
I mean, it's going to manifest itself in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not necessarily going to say on the first date, but there's going to be signs that the person is on the dishonest track. I mean, for me, the way you treat a server is huge. The way somebody, if they're on a date, the way they treat the other people who are in service to them, that's a big sign for me. If they're not polite, if they, snap at people, things like that, those are things on dates that I don't fuck with. If you're rude, if you snatch something from somebody's hands. I've been on dates with people like that where I'm like, oh, we're not having another date. Like this dude, I think he yelled at a server once on a date and I was like, what?
My extroversion could never. I'm like such a people pleaser.
Oh yeah, no. And I can't do that. But I just think like along the way, things aren't going to line up. And she said it. She said it a lot. Like,
tell me what else you have in your notes.
In my notes, the neighbor came to the house. So he came out, and I guess he's pathological.
Yeah.
And he was like, your ex-boyfriend came in a Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
And he came to the house, and she was freaking out. But then she remembers her neighbor has a Ring camera. She asked the neighbor to look at her Ring camera. The neighbor's like, nope, nobody was at your house. And then she said, something inside me told me he was lying. No, something outside you told you he was lying. Like signs aren't usually going to be that blatant.
The show, it triggered me too at some points, because I was thinking about like, as I've gotten older, I've been able to detect a lot faster when someone is lying to me, usually within the first 2 days.
For
right?
Sure. Age.
But when I was younger, like I remember in my early 20s, one of the men that I was in a relationship with, I didn't realize how much he was lying to me until like a year in. Because like, for instance, he had told me that he had done part of his degree at Boston University and then he had transferred over to our school. Why would I think that's a lie?
And so I think also for me, I don't trust people in general, but that's because I was born, my father like lied about me. So I had to learn to navigate lies when I was very little.
He would lie to you?
Lied about me, lied to me, said I wasn't his kid, like all this stuff. So I had to learn to navigate lies and liars when I was 5, 4 years old. I remember being really young and being like, these big people should know what's going on, but they don't. Like I had to navigate that. But how did you
know, like at that age, like my kids are that age right now, and I can't even imagine them understanding. I mean, my kid has been asking me a lot about Santa Claus now.
That's a start.
And I'm like, oh.
That's a start. We lie to kids.
What YouTube videos are you watching? You're in kindergarten.
Kids. Religion was one for me. Like I was told to go to Sunday school, and my particular Sunday school would say that anyone who doesn't accept Jesus Christ is going to hell. And I was very young, and I asked my Sunday school teacher, I was like, what about my friend? He's Jewish. And she was like, he's going to hell. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like 6 years old. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
That's such an inappropriate thing to say to a child, too.
So crazy to say.
I mean, it's inappropriate to say to anyone.
Yeah.
It's funny. My son, we've been teaching him. I've been reading to him each night my favorite book of like the Greek gods. Mm-hmm. Or like in my house, we call it like ancient Greek religion. I hate calling it mythology because it's all mythology anyway.
It's all mythology.
Keep the story, you know? So, and, my son, when we started reading them, he's like, I thought he knows the commandments, some of them. The first one's like, you believe in one God. He's like, hold up. There's a lot of gods here. Because it's not just 12. There's like a gazillion. There's the 12 main gods. There's like a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's read the last page of this book where it says like, Greek people now believe in one God.
Yeah.
But this is what they used to believe in. And then eventually it all transitioned to this. And like he accepted that as like an answer. And the only reason that my husband and I like are providing him a basis of faith right now is because I think it's a lot easier to acquire a faith when you're at this age than to not talk about it at all. And then when they're an adult, it's kind of like Santa Claus, right? Like you can tell a child about Santa Claus now and they'll believe in the magic, right? They'll believe in the magic of spirit, which is what we're talking about here. If you didn't say that to them when they were 5 years old, then you tell a 12-year-old, hey, there's this guy named Santa. The 12-year-old's not going to believe it because they have enough life experience. They can probably do a little logic. Like it's a little bit different. So you're just trying to teach a little spirit, faith, magic. That's all we're trying to do here. Anyway, so the 12 gods, he's been asking a lot of questions though.
Yeah. I was very question oriented as a child.
They're
and also thusly would be as a girlfriend. So I'm going to be the person I think most women are. I think we naturally are like, and this and this and that. So if you're asking somebody enough questions, they can't lie to you because they have to be really professional at it. And it's going to show. There's going to be a crack in the armor somewhere. You just got to pay attention. I believe. Yeah. Not discounting any woman that's been lied to.
Yeah.
Or any person that's been lied to.
What was the lie that... There was this one lie that he did. I was also single
for a very long time.
There was this one lie that he said that triggered the shit out of me, and it reminded me of a situation that I was in recently, like in my late 20s, but right before I met my husband. It was a lie where he got he was feeling sick. Maybe it was his knee injury, something like that, right?
Yeah, and he was bedridden.
Right. There was this guy that I started dating, I think it was mid-20s. He was cute. I felt like I was a lot smarter than him, so I wasn't once I figured that out within the first few phone calls, we knew a friend of us introduced us. I don't know why, but a friend of us introduced us.
She tried.
Yeah, she tried. And I think it's because we were the only two Greek people she knew.
Oh, yes. I try not to do that. You guys are both gay, like each other, right? I try not to do that, but I do.
So I'm talking to him on the phone. I could tell, I don't think we are on the same level, intellectually. In how I want to spend my time, what kind of shows I want to watch, what kind of movies I'm going to try. It was just a lot. It was different levels.
Yeah.
But I'm whatever. We can have fun. I'm not opposed to having some fun here.
Yeah.
But then, as you keep talking to someone, you're like, I don't know if I want to go out with you. I'm kind of backing out now. And then he calls me the next day or 3 hours later and he's like, I'm in the hospital right now. And I was like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, like a normal reaction.
Tinder swindler would do that to people.
Oh, he would? I didn't watch that. See, that was not my hole.
Yeah, I hold that.
Yeah.
I hold that one.
And he goes, I was like, you're in the hospital. Why, what happened? He was like, well, after yesterday's conversation, when you told me that, you don't think this could work, I went out with my buddies and I went drinking and then I got into an accident. And I was like, I'm like, why are you driving under the influence?
Yeah.
First of all. But second of all, I was like, are you hurt? Like, my only question was like, are you hurt? Mm-hmm. He's like, why do you even care? I'm like, you called me.
I don't care.
But I think he was expecting me to like drop everything and go
be with him.
Go be with him, which I'm sorry, I could never be with someone who would do this to me. So of course, my mind, being a little older now and have been lied to in my early 20s, I was like, what hospital are you at? Oh, now you care?
Nah.
And I'm like, well, where did this happen? Like, I'm trying to like piece this together, and he's like, well, it happened in, in Midtown. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, like, let me know if you want me to come by. I'll come by. No, it's okay. I'm going to go home now. And I'm like, all right. I was like, and then like, I think I told our mutual friend, I was like, you should check in on him, but don't do it today. Maybe in like 5 days. Why don't you call and ask them how their week was? Because surely if someone got into an accident at the hospital, they're going to tell their friend.
Yeah.
No, this guy, like, he was never in the hospital, didn't go out with his friends drinking. This is all made up to make me feel guilty to, like, care about him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're pathetic. I never told him that I knew. I don't think he listens to this podcast.
That's good.
I was just like, I don't need this. Like this is such a, now I can't even have fun with you.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about a compulsive or a pathological liar is they're going to be lying about everything.
Yeah.
So part of how a person can't lie to you is things that you say, meet their friends, meet their family.
God, that was
because
the biggest
if you
thing.
don't meet their friends and family, they can lie to you. But also, I remember you always talking about how you dated a dude and one of his friends was like, why are you with this asshole? And you broke up with him. That is
their
a
friends
huge
will always
sign.
tell you.
They will always tell you.
If one lesson to learn from the Rysa Tissa story, and I've been saying this, I have been saying this not only on the podcast, on Instagram, every fucking week.
I know you do.
If you don't meet his friends within the month of you dating, I don't care if it has to be a Zoom. I don't care if it has to be a Zoom. You need to meet his friends. One friend. I just need to. You know what his was? This was like part 45, part 46.
It was.
Because I was waiting for it. There were certain things I was like, when do we get to find out? And it's like, I've never met any of his friends.
Dude, when the cousin reached out, I love the cousin. Shout out to the cousin.
You had a whole miscarriage?
Dude,
without meeting his friends?
I have family members, like another sign from God. I have a family member who is a liar. And like, if somebody married them, I would definitely reach out to them on Facebook and be like, you know this mug is a liar, right? That was so funny that the cousin did that.
that Greek guy that I was telling you about, I happened to know. So he apparently is friends with one of my family members. And I called my family member and I was like, what do you know about this guy? Like after, like a year later.
Yeah.
Because it bothered me so much. I was like, oh, no, nope. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't keep a lie up. You just have to be honest with yourself.
There are people right now listening to this who are currently dating someone. They'll say stuff like, we've been dating for 2 months. We don't know what this is yet, so we haven't met friends. And I don't accept that. I think you can be dating someone and just be like, hey, my girlfriends, let them meet your friends. My girlfriends and I, we're going out for drinks after work. Join us.
Yeah. Yeah.
When do I get to meet your friends? Oh, let's do a trivia night. Do you have any friends for us to go with? Like, if you're meeting someone off of the internet, that has to become priority number one. And if someone asks you, I think that conversation of like, when do you meet friends? Make that a first or second date conversation. Like, anyone I date, especially off the internet, I'm going to prioritize meeting their friends in the first month of dating. I don't care if we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. I need to make sure that you're not a psycho. Call it out for what it is.
Absolutely.
I didn't meet you through a friend. I didn't meet you at a funeral.
I didn't meet you at a funeral. That's how you know you can trust them, ladies. You better go to them funerals. You better wear a nice little
Shiva matchmaking
dress. And that's when I say I never dated a liar, that doesn't mean I haven't dated trash bags. Oh. I dated trash men, comedians. I've dated them before, and you're going to know that they don't want to be with you because of certain types of behavior. And if you're not meeting their friends, that person doesn't want to be with you.
How quickly did you meet Daniel's friends? Well, I mean, you had a friend.
We had mutual friends, and I met a bunch of them, but it was also pandemic. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really meet them. But what they did was like a cute little boys' night every Tuesday. And when you were saying wasn't on speaker, it wasn't on speaker, but he was on the phone. They play video games together. It's really nerdy and cute.
Great.
Yeah. And I have since met his friends after the pandemic, and we were able to see people. But we also did a lot of stuff that you don't recommend doing. Like we moved in together. Right. Rules are meant to be broken. Rules are rules, yeah. But I would recommend getting the ring first.
I mean, you guys. Look.
She's right.
I think. Yeah, put that on a shirt. But also, you did something that I don't think a lot of couples do, which is you preemptively hired a dad for the relationship, aka a couples therapist.
Absolutely. We're taping this on a Monday. Monday is couples therapy day. It has changed.
It used to be Friday.
It used to be Friday.
Is it better
Thursday.
Now on Monday?
No, he just changes whenever his schedule changes. And since
the therapist?
Yeah, the therapist.
Okay. I was like, Daniel?
Yeah. No. Daniel is free. He has a job. I'm the crazy one.
Is this over Zoom?
Yeah, we Zoom with him. Mm-hmm. And usually when we are together. We've only done it like once or twice when I was in another city or state. And those were emergency sessions. So we usually do it when we're together.
How did you find them?
Psychology Today. Big fan of Psychology Today because you can type in everything you need. My boyfriend's biracial, so I wanted a biracial therapist who could relate to both of us. I'm Black. He's half white, half Asian, and I talk about this in my stand-up, but I'm serious.
His dad's the white guy, which that's important for us to point out sometimes.
LOL, yes. Mr. and Mrs. Smith will give you more context into that. But,
the new show? With Oh, they talk about that?
Yeah, because she's half. So their relationship is ours in reverse.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. I have not watched it. That's like literally our next.
Yeah.
Right now, George and I are watching the most asinine show with Jennifer Gardner called He Couldn't Tell. That's the worst part that I don't even remember. And I'm like, we're 8 episodes in. And I'm like, where is what just happened? It's like this insane exposition for a whole episode. I'm like, can you guys just stop talking and like act it out now?
Yeah.
Now I'm just watching it in spite.
And here's what I learned from Aaron Sorkin. I watched his masterclass, and he says if you hate something and you're a writer specifically, continue watching it because you need to find out, A, what you hate about it, but also B, what you would change. And so even if we hate a show, we'll continue to watch it to the end to see what the arc was, the character, what was messed up.
I mean, the first 2 episodes are really good. That like reeled us in. But now I'm like, what is happening?
And then chaos happened.
You know what show we loved watching because there was zero exposition? It was pure filmmaking. Did you watch it? The show Severance?
Yeah, we did.
Dude, that has zero exposition. Like zero, like you are basically blind the whole time. You just have to act it out. No one's telling you what's happening.
Yeah.
You figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
You're confused the first 2 episodes
Very
to hell.
Confused.
But so is the main character. The main character one of the main characters is fully confused, trying to make a sense of their reality. I was like, Severance is a good show.
Listen, making television is hard. It's very hard.
I feel like I'm seeing you a lot on TV lately. Can we brag about you for a little bit?
I've been on TV a little bit, yes.
I mean, were you on the first episode of the night show?
Of the night show after midnight?
Yeah.
Maybe like the second week, third week it came out.
You know what?
First month.
Her first clip, the first clip I ever saw of it was with you.
Ooh.
And I like freaked out. I sent it to everyone I know. I reposted it on my Instagram. I was like, I know her.
Yes. After midnight, so happy they brought that back for comics, for working. And it's so much fun to do. It was the first time I was not nervous to be on a television camera.
I saw some of the clips. Do you know in advance or is that on the fly?
So they, I don't know how much I'm supposed to tell.
Don't take that out.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm supposed to tell.
NDAs not allowed here.
You get the things in advance, but day of. So I don't know if I could. Yeah.
I was so Joyelle. Now that I said Joyelle coded, I have been texting you recently.
Yes.
about a character. What show was that?
Was it Jessica Williams doing something?
I'm gonna go through my texts. Hold on.
Okay.
There was a show. There was a show where I was like, this is so Joyelle coded. Like they literally took her personality.
That's so funny.
Okay. Yes, Jessica Williams. So that's another one that I was like, I think I'm going to start hate watching the last 3 episodes because I was like, where is this going? But Jessica Williams saved it. Like her whole plot line.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only watching this now for her.
Yeah. She's cool.
But like, I feel like as I was watching, the show is shrinking.
Okay.
And she plays a shrink.
Oh, cool.
And all of her mannerisms, the things that she was saying, her reactions to things, I was like, this kind of feels like someone watched your stand-up, like in the writer's room, and they were like, okay, let's pretend Joyelle Nicole Johnson is a shrink and is having like familial drama happen.
I love it. I mean, I haven't seen it. And I think when you sent it to me, I think I was like...
Also sending you clips. I was like, tell me this is not you. Like,
and I couldn't watch it, though, because I've been compared to her.
Oh, you have?
To her
not looks-wise. Oh, you mean like
energy-wise?
Energy-wise is the same.
You know.
Oh, you have been compared before.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay.
Here I am thinking I'm having a original Eureka moment, but apparently
but
other people see it.
Also, everyone's going to compare you to the other tall black girl. That's for sure.
I didn't realize she was tall.
She is. I think she's almost 6 feet.
Well.
She's tall, and then she wears her hair up.
So listen, I asked my listeners, what's the craziest lie someone has ever told you?
Ooh, yay.
And we have clips for us to react to. Oh my God, I'm so
excited.
We're going to be listening though.
We're listening? Oh shit, okay. Oh my God.
Hi Maria, my name is Caitlin and I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm 34 years old. The biggest lie that I was ever told by a boyfriend of mine was when a boyfriend that I had been dating for 2 years. I saw his car driving down the road when he was supposedly out of town. So I followed him and ended up at his ex-girlfriend's apartment. When I confronted him, he told me that she had cancer. No. And he was spending time with her to be supportive of her during her time of need of being diagnosed with cancer. I took some time to really think and reflect about that, and I ended up reaching out to her and finding out that she indeed did not have cancer, and she thought that she was his girlfriend as well.
Ooh,
so we both are now no longer dating this liar.
And y'all friends? Oh. Oh my God. Listen. And I think that was one thing Rysa said about death, how she don't lie about death. She don't play when it comes to death. Karma gonna get your ass. Karma gonna get his ass. You can't be lying about cancer and that. You don't bring that energy into your life, and don't let somebody who brings that energy into your life stay in your life. Oh my God. Also, if you following cars, break up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing no FBI shit. That's another thing she said. She was like, I'm at it. She's standing in line at a government agency. If you standing in line at a government agency to prove something your boyfriend said, break up, boo. You can't be looking through obituaries. You doing Lexus type research, old school newspapers and shit. Nah, I'm not doing all that. If you doing all that, get therapy and break up. I'm not doing all that research.
That's the clip. That's the clip right there.
That ramble.
That's it. Put that on a t-shirt.
Lexus.
Let's go to the next clip.
Hi, Matchmaker Maria. I'm withholding my name, but I'm 32 and I live in New York City, and I dated a compulsive liar for about 18 months. Ooh. We met on Bumble, and in the early days of us spending time together, he lied to me about where he attended law school. He said he was going to NYU and was actually attending a different university. I found out because since we had met online, I Googled him, and there had been indicators on the internet that he was attending one university. But of course, I couldn't tell him that I Googled him, so I asked where he was in school and was kind of shocked that he didn't say the place I was expecting. I confirmed that he was lying when shortly after that we were attending an outdoor event and it got chilly and he gave me his jacket to wear. When I went to the bathroom, I realized he left his wallet in his pocket, and so I looked inside to see if there was a student ID. There was, and it was not to NYU. The problem is that I didn't do anything about it. I thought surely he would come clean eventually and that there had to be a good reason he was lying. Perhaps he was insecure and would react badly to me calling him out.
Yeah.
I was not a very confident dater at the time. When I finally did call him out close to 8 months later, we proceeded to date for another 12 plus months.
Oh.
Over the entirety of the 18 months we dated, I never met a single one of his friends. He was incredibly controlling, manipulative, and his addiction to gambling and alcohol nearly ruined me.
Ooh.
It's all quite embarrassing because I'm a smart person, so it's not that I didn't see the lies, it's that I saw the lies and chose to ignore them. Amid the pandemic, we went to separate cities for a bit, and the physical distance helped me get the clarity and courage I needed to end things. And immediately it felt like a giant weight lifted off me. I never looked back, and with the help of therapy, friends, family, and of course the Matchmaker Maria community, I'm now a far more confident dater and would never overlook a lie of any magnitude, particularly within the early days of meeting. As I said, this part of my past embarrasses me, but I'm sharing it because so often in the Ask a Matchmaker Wednesdays, we see people write in asking questions that make it seem like they're not trusting their gut or making excuses for a man's behavior. I'm sharing my experience as a cautionary tale. Trust your guts, be strong, and do not overlook lies. Thanks for listening, and thanks for all you do, Matchmaker Maria.
Yes,
Wow.
bars. Put the ether beat on that or
She
something.
did that.
Fuck yeah.
I wonder
That's
what law
great.
school he went to.
That's hilarious that
If
he
you're gonna
lied about law
lie
schools.
like Harvard Law.
But you know, and I think y'all talked about this before about where the lies start, because the difference between the height lie and what was the other lie?
Age lie.
The age lie.
Yeah.
And I originally thought that I would give lenience to height because I'm
Right.
tall, but she said a lie is a lie.
An algorithm is an
And
algorithm.
if they're lying, they're going to be lying about little stuff. So don't let the little things ignore you. And when I say,
Erica
you can't
changed
lie
my
to me,
mind that day.
Yeah, she
I
changed
was
my
like,
mind
wow,
too.
I never thought of height as a thing that I don't care about it.
Right. But if you're lying, and you're going to be able, and like I said with Rysa, he was lying already by being on two different apps
With
two
names.
different names. So that is a lie. So don't ignore it when you see it.
Yeah.
You know? And in retrospect, I mean, every person I talk to that's been cheated on or whatever, they're like, oh, I knew. You just ignore it.
She said it too, like, she felt ashamed. She's a smart woman. And by the way, I think that's what I think Rysa did, where she tickled people's brains. It's like she clearly seems to me like she's a smart woman, right?
Competent,
and I don't
has a job.
I really don't think it's her fault. I think the kind of person who can do this is also a narcissist. And
predatory.
And narcissists want to get you. I've been in that situation where I was with a pathological liar for 2 years. And I knew like 7 months in, like, oh, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Like Whoopi Goldberg,
You in danger, girl.
Right. And but then it's like, well, how could he lie about something so small? And how could he lie about something so big?
Right.
And then the fights would become like, I remember this one time we got in a fight about something, like the equivalent would be like him saying to me, like, the sky is pink. And I'm like, no, the sky is blue.
Right.
And the way he believed that the sky is pink, like he would die for it. And then somehow I'm now being violated for being like, are you serious right now? Like, how are you? And then it's like, the only reason we stayed that long together after that is because I felt unsafe. I needed to get an exit plan. Like, and that took like a really long time. Yeah. You also have to deconstruct the lies that they've been telling you, which is for 2 years, for a year and a half, I heard on a consistent basis, no man's going to love you the way I love you. And I know at 39 now, I can look back and I'm like, what a loser. Right. But
when you're young,
when your brain's not like you've been with this person, they've seen you naked, you've shared certain vulnerabilities, you've been vulnerable. They've also been vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't sunken cost fallacy because I didn't think I've put so much in that I can't leave. I didn't know I could leave.
Oh, right. Didn't have the.
And then I remember one time I called his mom and his sister. His sister was really hard to like pin down. Like I've met her a few times and I would try to like have like a kind of a conversation with her. Like, look, it's your sister. I can't get in between family, right? But I remember trying to like first befriend her so that I can get to a place where I'm like, hey, I need help. But she never gave me that like like we went, I remember once to the movies together and then we went to eat, but it was never like the conversation. I was trying my best to get it to the next level. And like, she would constantly change the topic.
Right. Yeah. I met my partner's sister like almost immediately as well.
Yeah.
So that was another reason I didn't need to meet the friends as soon.
Right.
Because I met his sister and vibed with her. And
I could not, I mean, I met his sister right away too. I mean, I knew this person. We were schoolmates, right? But I remember at some point, like a year in, going to his mom and be like, I need help. Like, I need help. And then she started gaslighting me. It was like, no, you're wrong. Or this and that. And I was just like, maybe I am wrong. An adult is telling me, like, you see how like you can get in a situation where you're like, you're a narcissist, but so is your mom.
Absolutely. Well, that's where they're going to get their narcissism like fueled. Where they're going to learn. It's going to be one of the parents. It's always one of the parents. If everything that's wrong with us is one of our parents.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that person, whoever, what's his name, Legion.
I feel for her. The woman who just called, I 100% get where she's coming from.
Absolutely.
I get the embarrassment. I feel embarrassed when the first time talking about this person, you know? So it's like.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was never, I don't lie to myself also, and not saying I'm different, I'm above anyone or anything. I don't lie to myself. And that would be when I'm with the trash dudes, I would just be like, oh, I know you don't care about me, but I'm still going to be here because I know I'm vulnerable right now, you know? So I'll keep sleeping with you for 8 months. Yikes, you know, whatever, 12 months, that type of thing. So I have been there.
Yeah.
You just ain't gonna lie to me. Like, I know you're trash.
Right.
And we're just having sex.
And we're just having fun, as we call it.
We're just having a good time, and sometimes I cry afterwards.
Let's listen to one more clip. Is it one more or two more?
Yeah,
we got two
these
more.
are so exciting. I mean, not y'all sadness, but.
So the guy that I've been dating for about a little bit over a year, things have been rocky with this for a while, but, you know, we were still trying to make it. And he told me that he was going to the mountains to take care of his father. And I said, okay, you know, take care of family business. We would talk pretty regularly, but there would be days where there would be radio silence. Mm-hmm. And at about the month and a half point, I said, listen, you know, this has been too long. We need to like have time to reset, figure out, you know, what is going on, if this is like worth it. And we need to like have a mutual couple of days together. Before that happened, he basically said to me, oh my gosh, beautiful, like I'm coming home. And I said, okay. I've been sold this song and dance enough times where I was kind of like, okay, if you say so. And, you know, the reason why he kind of like said I'm coming home was because I realized that he had been blocking me. And he told me that he wasn't blocking me, that if he was going to break up with me, he would have done it in a really adult way, like a conversation, a phone call. And I was like, I think you're blocking me, but okay, whatever. That day I had like called him on my home phone, which I have. And that's kind of like how I unraveled the lie, because that evening on my home phone, the other woman that he'd been playing house with, she called me on my home phone to tell me, hey, I've been dating like X, Y, and Z since this amount of time. And I've been with him a little longer than that. And I called him. I said to her, I was like, well, we just got off the phone. He and I just got off the phone. So like, as you know, as you can tell, like we've been together for X amount of time. But I called him back and I was like, this person called me. And he was like, oh yeah, okay. And I never heard from him again because I blocked him. So if he called me back, we'll never know. But that's how I unraveled the lie.
Good. Get blocked, baby.
Who has time for like two girlfriends?
I don't know.
Have you ever been in that? I've been in a relationship where the guy was dating me, living with me.
Yeah. Like
he was over my house 5 days a week, but he also had a girlfriend in Connecticut.
I can understand it if everyone's honest with each other. Because the lie to me sounds exhausting. It sounds exhausting to be a pathological or a freaking whatever the other one, compulsive liar.
Yeah.
Because how can you keep up?
How?
That's why I don't lie, because I can't keep up with it.
I'm too busy.
I smoke. I done forgot something the second I told you.
I'm too busy.
I'm way too busy. And that's the thing. These people don't have jobs. I don't have one either, but they don't have jobs. And it's funny because I know one of my friends had a dude who would like tell her night shift and then tell the other girl day shift. So he would go to that house at night and her house during the day. It's just infuriating. Oh my God.
I wish every clip that called, they told us the height of the guy. Should have asked for that.
Matchmaker Maria is a heightist.
The hot takes that I've got. Let's listen to our last clip.
Hi, Matchmaker Maria. My name is Kelsey. I'm 31 years old, and I'm answering your question about the craziest thing a compulsive or pathological liar ever lied to me about. The biggest one was that he was deployed in the Middle East, but really just in Eastern Washington. But he also used to lie about really stupid little things, like I had bought something for his parents, and he claimed he had sent it off to them and gave this whole story about his parents' reaction to the item in detail. And then I was helping him straighten up his house and found the item, which was never sent. So,
Damn.
I don't know. Hopefully
Goofy.
people can relate. Actually, hopefully not.
Right. No, people for sure can relate to that.
Everyone
but
relates
that's
to that.
so, yeah, like dumb lies. And that's what I think they're going to do is like they're going to tell stupid lies.
It's stupid lies.
And then you'll be like, oh, you'll just, don't write it off. If he's telling a dumb lie, get out of there. No lies. None.
Have you ever lied? I mean, I know you say you don't lie,
if
but
if money is
if
involved.
money's involved?
Like if I have to lie, pretend that I have to work with a white man I don't like, and and it's gonna be a lot of money, and I pretend that I like the person, so I will lie for this industry. Are you kidding me? Oh my God,
you want to make money.
I can't be.
Got to get paid.
Yeah.
All right. One last thing I want your reaction on before we go into casting of the rysa Tissa story.
Ooh, fun.
Can we watch the clip?
Yes,
All right.
watching clips. Let me make
We've got a
sure.
clip. We've
I
got a
love
clip
it.
from Legion.
Perfect. Oh, yes. Because I haven't, after I watched 53 episodes, I was like, I can't do any more. So I stopped.
Yeah, me too.
And I heard she
I
got
can't
a
even
trip
take.
to
I
Europe.
can't even take the takes. Okay, when that happened, I gotta talk about that.
Man, what's good, everybody?
Oh,
I just
God.
want to do this one because, you know, you ever just have people doubt you or just come at you like you ain't doing something? I ain't trying to throw it in your face, but you know what this is? You know what this is? Y'all seen the pictures. I posted it earlier. Done and done. Certified
Divorce?
done.
Good. Divorced.
You know,
Good.
everybody who had my back through this, because this process was just hell. Because,
Who is on his
because
side?
quite honestly, it takes
No one.
way more to be
Why
done with
does
somebody
he look the way
than
I
it
thought
is to
he
get
would?
with them.
LOL.
So, like I said, I just want to say thanks to everybody and everybody who out there who was saying, "Oh, it ain't gonna be done. It's just that and third." Haters.
I
Oh, good
I
for
knew
him.
when there would be a response video, he'd be wearing two things: a hat and a
Sunglasses.
sunglasses. I knew it. That's why when I say like he looks exactly the way I thought he would.
Goofy.
He looks goofy.
What a goofy. And he will print out a document.
The man
That
has a printer. If
that
you
man
know
has a
what,
printer.
if I were, so let's talk about casting for a second.
Yes.
All right, there are 3 opportunities here.
Yes. For
The
Legion.
first, for all parties involved.
Yes.
The first one.
Yes.
If I were Hewlett Packard, I would give a brand deal to Legion
Absolutely.
because the man is bringing printers back.
He's bringing printers back. He bringing
He
printers
printed
back
everything.
like the
He
Gen Z
printed
bringing back
everything.
newspapers.
He printed everything.
Yeah.
Number 2, if I were the Travel Channel,
Mm-hmm.
I would have a 6-episode series of rysa Tissa does London.
Yeah.
I would watch the shit out of that.
Okay. London and Paris.
Yeah, London and Paris. Watch her navigate the the little tube under the channel. The English
Little
channel.
subway.
Little subway action. Like
Have her dating in London. A dating
Yes.
show in London.
Yes.
She needs a therapist on the show.
Though, the problem with British men is that they know American women love that accent.
Oh.
So,
Depends on the British dude. I mean,
Oh.
I'm not here for David Beckham.
Oh, you don't like David Beckham?
He sounds like Mickey Mouse.
He looks like Mickey Mouse?
He sounds like Mickey Mouse.
He sounds like Mickey Mouse. You've just ruined David Beckham for me. Thank you. Okay, casting. I thought about this. There's no way I didn't tell you to prepare for this. I'm so sorry.
You
but
shouldn't have didn't.
I should have not, or I should have.
Oh no, let's go. Let's see what I can
feel
come
like
up
you're
with.
good on the play. So who would there's 3 questions. Who would
Yeah.
play rysa Tissa?
Yeah.
Who would play Legion? And
Yeah.
who is it directed by?
Okay.
Because that makes a difference.
Yes. Legion, I'm thinking either Brian Tyree Henry or there's this guy, Chris Davis, who was also in Atlanta. He played the crazy couch sleeping guy.
Yeah.
And he just also did the George Foreman movie. That man has range. I would love to see him play a lion-ass, pathological lion-ass dude.
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good. That's a really good casting.
Yeah.
So, tell me who you would do Rysa Tissa.
Rysa Tissa, I'm liking my girl Danielle Pinnock. She's in the show Ghosts on CBS. Yeah. She's awesome at Body Courage. She's fantastic. She would be hilarious.
I'm so happy you didn't say Jill Scott. I feel like everyone has put Jill Scott in there because of that one Tyler Perry movie.
Oh no! I wouldn't do that. But I would do Michelle Buteau.
Hold on.
That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. I just don't. I feel like she's too powerful to get lied to.
But if
I have a problem.
Acting,
yeah,
if
maybe
we
she's acting.
Once again, we see it in
You're
the
right.
range.
I don't even know what I'm saying because wait until you hear my casting.
Ooh.
So I went a little Empire themed.
Okay.
Who doesn't want to relive 2016 again?
True. 2016, I would love to relive before that. Not 2016.
Well, that happened at the end of 2016. 2015 it came out anyway. So Maria's choices: Rysa Tissa, Taraji.
Okay.
And obviously Legion is Terrence Harold.
Oh, Terrence Howard would definitely play a great pathological liar.
Tell me, come on.
He wouldn't have to act.
First of all, the entire time she was telling us a story, I was just thinking of Terrence Howard the entire time. So then when Legion pops up, I was like, he looks exactly like I thought he would. Tell me that's not Terrence Howard with sunglasses and a hat.
Oh, don't play Terrence. Terrence is hot, at least. If you're going to lie to me, be hot.
Okay. Yeah. Who would direct it?
Who would direct it? Ooh,
First of all, do you think the director needs to be black?
Absolutely. This story is, for the culture. This was, I think. I'm wanting either. I want a female director.
Of course, it has to be a female director.
I want a female director.
A male director is only going to gaslight the shit out of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they're older. Who would I pick?
There's a lot.
Or we could get an actor to direct it. Somebody who's been through a lot.
Oh, if the actor that directs it has to be, what's her name from Insecure?
Issa? Issa would be a great director, I think. Directed by Melina Matsoukas. That's who I'm picking to
That's
direct
a really good selection.
Melina Matsoukas.
Tell people what Melina has directed.
Yeah, Melina directed a lot of Insecure, and she also directed Queen and Slim.
That's right.
Yes.
And that is comedic
Beyonce's
drama.
Formation video. Hello. Yes.
That's right,
Melina.
Formation.
So yeah, I think, and also she does dramedy act. She does comedy and drama. Queen and Slim, very dramatic.
Queen and Slim is comedic drama. Right? That's the score right there.
Yes.
All right, I have two options.
Yes.
I was trying to determine if we were going to go black or sinister.
Oh, okay.
Which would have been white.
Because we know.
But they're both women.
Mm-hmm.
So, I belong, as a human being, I belong in the Shonda Rhimes universe.
Of course.
So Shonda Rhimes was my first choice, mainly because I thought of how Scandal was directed.
Yeah.
How Grey's Anatomy was written.
Does Shonda direct?
Yes, she does.
Oh,
I feel like
me.
this, in Shondaland, there is a place where Rysa Tissa is held with care.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. But then I thought, have you ever seen the movie American Psycho?
Yes, very sinister.
Do you know that was directed by a woman?
I did not.
Yeah, Mary Herron.
Okay.
And I thought, because it's kind of if you think about American Psycho, before the end of it, and fuck off for the spoiler alerts, it's been out for a decades. But it's comedy in the beginning. It's
oh yeah.
It's funny. So
yeah.
Even when he talks about this skincare routine, the meticulousness of who he is, I feel like that can be transferred to someone of the two.
The movie was very well done.
With a good soundtrack?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Joyelle, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Get therapy, y'all. Not only get therapy, but stay in it. Because we've been on and off with our couples therapists. We're about to be 4 years. It's like one time we took a year off, you know.
You took a year off?
Mm-hmm. Took a year off, was chilling, and then got back with him, you know. You go in and out if you find somebody you like. But keep in touch with a therapist, everyone.
And meet their friends.
Meet the friends.
And he can't be 6'4". He can be 6'5". He can be 6'3".
That's hilarious.
No love for 6'4".
I love it. That should be a t-shirt. No love for the 6'4" dude.
I'll make it a tote. I'll put it in the merch store. I now have a merch store, matchmakermaria.shop. I'll make a tote bag. What did we say now? No love for the 6'4"? That's what it is. No love for the 6'4". I also have a tote bag right now that says texting isn't dating.
That is also punching up.
Yes.
In the most literal sense.
Literally and figuratively. Thank you, Joyelle. Joyelle, thank you again for coming to the Ask a Matchmaker podcast. Yay! Where can people find you?
Oh my gosh, I'm at Joyelle Nicole on Instagram. My manager wants me to post more. I'm going to try. Hopefully this will help. And my special's on Peacock. It's called Lovejoy. My album's called Yell Joy. Download that, stream it, or buy it on Blonde Medicine.
Yeah, I'm all about, just look her up on Apple Music if you have Apple. Mm-hmm. Are you on Spotify too?
I think so.
So yeah, it is so funny. Did I tell you this? I went to Atlantic City with my mom and her best friend. I think I told you this. And on the ride up, I was like, I don't want to talk to you ladies anymore. I've spent enough time. Can we just listen to Joyelle's album? They're like, sure. And I press play, and these women I had to stop the car so they could pee.
Oh,
had to stop the car.
That means a lot to me. I want to make everybody pee.
Yeah. Oh yes, they loved it. I remember we had to stop at a fucking Wawa. You know how I feel about Wawas.
Oh yeah.
All right, Joyelle, thank you again. And thank you for listening to the Ask a Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, comment, subscribe, like, tell a friend, tell your mother, tell your best friend, tell your cousin. Don't tell the men that are 6'4". Don't even talk to them. Just block them. Just block them. Thanks for listening. Be lovable, more importantly, be likable. See you next week.